Looking for Madden 22 Ultimate Team coins? AOEAH.com is the cheapest and most reliable coins on the market. Click the link in the description and use coupon code SPORTS for 3% off your order. YouTube, what's up? It's Duke back here from Sportsgamerz.com. We got a fire Madden 22 tip video for you guys today. I'm about to break down a lockdown defense that you can use to shut down any offense, run or pass, and this is a very easy setup. It works on any console you play on, next gen or current gen. It will work in any mode, with any team. You don't need any specific abilities. So with all that said, let's get straight into it. I'm going to look at this big dime 2-3-6 well formation. So this dime 2-3-6 well, you can find in different playbooks. Personally, I'm running it out of the Tampa Bay Bucks playbook, and I actually posted a full defensive scheme from this formation this week on Sportsgamerz.com. So if you're a VIP member, you will get access to all of this and much more. Definitely check it out. The link is in the description. Anyways, I also pinned it as a comment, but with all that said, now that we got coaching adjustments in here, I want to go over the different coaching adjustments I will use. And first I start with auto flip on. I just like this overall. For most defensive formations I run this year, I will say there are a few exceptions. Sometimes people will come out in offensive formations that actually screw your auto flip up. So if you see them using something like that, I would go ahead and turn it off. Now, as far as your zone drops go, so with this defense, we're going to be changing them throughout, but what I generally start on is 30 for flats, and curl flats I put on 5. Hook zones I like to keep on default because I can shade them up or down, and because my curl flats and flats, already kept the 30 or 5 regardless, I can kind of, already know what my flats are going to play, shaded up or down, doesn't really matter. Obviously I can't turn a curl flat into an actual flat, otherwise that could change from 5 to 30, but you guys get the drift. And that just gives me a little bit more versatility with my hook zones, being able to shade them up or down. So this formation, it does allow you to sub in your safeties at linebacker. I definitely would recommend doing that, especially if you're playing a mode where you have a lot of good secondary players. It's more speed, better coverage, better animations when you're using them. And your slot corners, they could either blitz or play coverage, so I would recommend having fast guys there, versatile players. So the play I want to look at is the edge blitz 2. And there's many different ways I set this defense up. Like I said, the full scheme is on sportsgamerz.com. In this video, I'm just going to focus on one way I like to use this. So I want to kind of go ahead and look at a lot of the different offensive you'll see out there. And one of the main ones you're going to see is gun bunch, right? Bunch trail especially is a very popular play. When you're playing up against, the meta this year, you already know bunch tight end, bunch, trips formations, right? You can get a lot of seam wheels. You're probably going to get some deep post, one-play touchdowns. You're probably going to get some corner outs, some flats. So anything like that, you already know what you are going to face, and we're going to focus on that here. So, guys, I do want to remind you, if you're enjoying my Madden 22 content on my YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I do videos on a daily basis each week, from tips, gameplays, and news. Subscribing, turn your notifications on, and if you're really rocking me, smash that like button. All this stuff helps me out a lot greatly as a content creator, be able to continue to do these types of videos for you guys. So, with all that said, let's just get into the setup. So, this is a play that you can either blitz from or play coverage. In this video, I want to focus on how I like to play coverage when running this defense. So, this defense is pretty versatile, right? The thing about cover 2 is you can get bombed pretty easily with a deep post combo. Now, this play actually is a perfect example of that. So if I was just to go ahead and just kind of do whatever here offensively, it doesn't really even matter. Just the fact that I've, on this play, the deep post with the corner, if I don't really even do much, you guys can see that post just kind of gets right, in between that soft spot of the safeties, because the safety on the right side of the screen is basically baited out to the sideline to guard the corner. And that leaves that opening. Now, obviously, there's different adjustments I can make to defend this, but we can't give that up. So what I typically like to do with this defense is to go ahead and put this guy that's blitzing into a middle third. If you're enjoying my YouTube content, I highly recommend you check out sportsgamerz.com. This is where I post all my premium Madden 22 content. I have eBooks, offensive and defensive schemes, plus I do 4 to 6 premium tips every week in the Madden Vault. This content is available for both current and next gen, so no matter what system you play on, we got you guys covered. Our best offer yet is the Sportsgamerz Madden VIP membership. This gives you access to the entire site, every tip, every ebook, plus the meta reports for only $19.99. I'll post a link to it in the description and the comments. Make sure to check it out for the best tips and content available at the best price anywhere. Third. Now by doing this, no longer will that opening be there, and I'm easily able to shut that down. Now, as you guys can see here, I didn't really make any coverage adjustments. I just stayed with my standard 4-man rush. And, that can be effective, but typically if I'm playing coverage from this defense, there's definitely some adjustments I want to make. So here you're going to see that the post was wide open, but when I go ahead and put this guy in the middle third right here, no longer do I have to worry about that. Now, honestly, you could put either of the middle linebackers into a middle third that are actually safeties. It really doesn't matter. For me personally, if I'm playing coverage, especially against bunch, I like to put the one in the tight end side in the middle third and then user this one right here. So the reason for that is that if they're going to run some seam wheels, which I'll show you in a second, you always want to be on the running back side of the formation. And now at this point, I have options. I can do a double Mabel where I get rid of my vert hook. And by doing that, I can do a curl flat on each side. So now basically, I have a 30-yard flat and then a 5-yard flat on each side of the field. So they can't throw any quick flats. They can't throw deep down the sidelines. And I've taken away that deep middle for the one-play touchdown. So now all I really have to do myself is just user kind of the middle of the field, the short stuff, right? As I do here. And you guys can see, if they try to chuck that post, that middle third I playmakered, he's right there. Now, don't know how he caught that. If you take a look at the replay, you're going to see that this guy, he ran right down the middle where that soft spot was the last time, and he was right there. Like, that should have been a pick. Threw it right to me. But you guys know how Madden 22 is. Sometimes your defenders, they don't want to do anything. Basically had a pick go right through his hands. Literally right through both hands. Somehow, and he let Thomas just snatch it with one hand right through his hands. Unbelievable, but that's the game we play this year. So, if we do it again, you guys can see bam, bam, bam. We're going to do this one more time. And hopefully this time we actually take it away and get a pick. He's right there again. This time we get the pick. That's a little bit more what you can expect. So that's why I like to put that guy in the middle third, is because I know that he's going to shut down those annoying one-play touchdowns that everybody tries to do. So past that, though, there are more adjustments you're going to want to make on this defense. So, let me get into one of the more annoying plays on this year's game, this mesh spot. So, mesh spot is super, super, super annoying because at the end of the day, if someone knows how to throw these wheel routes, it's very, very hard to stop them. Now, you know, a lot of people think, well, if I just man the tight end up, that's going to stop it. No, it's not going to stop it at all. So, what I like to do is if I see them doing this, I like to use vert hooks. Vert hooks do a pretty good job of defending it, but I will tell you guys that depending upon how your zone drop, and that's why I like to leave zone drop off, it could still get open. And I will say that the tight end, when we have a vert hook over there, he's going to be well defended. However, the running back is still iffy. So I'm not going to use or anything here. I just kind of want to show you guys. Look, see how that tight end, our guy's right there, right? However, the running back, he still is getting to a point where we can lowball that. Now, we didn't catch the ball there, but you guys can see what I mean. He just doesn't really react that well. Now, as if we try to throw over here, there's kind of two guys kind of right in the area that could defend that a little bit better. And you can do some shading and whatever on the tight end side. It's going to defend that a lot better. But the running back is just, that's why I say you always want to use the running back side, because he's going to be a little bit more challenging to defend. So I'm in the exact same defense again. This time I'm actually going to put the curl flat over there, and I'm just going to use the running back myself. So this time you guys can see I'm going to try to force it in here. If I try to force this in here, I'm right there for the pick. And if you guys take a look at the replay, you'll see once again that the tight end side, it was defended a lot better. So if you're expecting them to attack the seams, the two slot corners, you could go ahead and do vert hooks. Again, look, we got basically two guys over here, and if they want to check down in the flat, that's fine. Over here, I already know the running back is a little bit more difficult, so that's why I basically stayed on that side myself to take that away. So if you're expecting the seams, I would recommend vert hooks. Now, however, So we all know there's different plays and different formations where a lot of times people will try to attack you with the flats, and that will require a different adjustment. And that's the thing I really like about this defense is you can easily take away pretty much everything and still rush 3 or 4, and the adjustments are very simple. So play like this right here, PA boot over, right? This is a very typical play to where you pretty much know that they're going to attack probably both the flat and the deep sideline. So if we do the same adjustments with the middle third right here, so just not showing it, but then we put the blitzing corner in the slot, we put him in a curl flat, and this guy over here in a curl flat, and we user this vert hook right here. And again, it's not showing it, but basically I put this defender, he's in a curl flat. The curl flat adjustment, by the way, if you don't know, it's to the right on the left analog stick. The middle third is up on the left stick, and that's all I'm doing. And then I'm using this guy. So I already know I have 2 30-yard flats and 2 5-yard flats. And the deep middle's covered. I'm responsible for the short middle. So now if they do a typical setup like this to where they're trying to attack both flats and then also deep on the sideline, I already know all that is taken away, taken away, taken away. And if they try to force that, I got the 5-yard flat sitting right there and also the 30-yard flat. Now, one thing to note is that even when you have a 30-yard flat, if they have an escape artist and they're able to get out of the pocket and kind of throw it at more of an angled on the run, you can still get deep crossers and deep corners behind 30-yard flats. So we don't really have that in this video, but if somebody did have an escape artist to where they could just roll out and bam, 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 they probably could get an angle, and this is common, especially when you have 99 throw power quarterbacks and then, guys still using pass lead elites and all those other things. They might be able to get it over top in this space on the sideline. So if you're playing against somebody who does do that in a scenario like that, you'll still actually have to use that crosser. But as you guys can see, we can take away both flats, both deep sidelines, like I said, unless they're able to escape the pocket, which in that case is a little different. And again, defending this right here. Now I will say the bunch tight end, super bomb as you might like to call it, that can almost bomb any adjustment in the game. Like, if they have enough time, even right here, if they do the setup to where they have the running back wheel and all that, when you have this guy running down the deep middle, if they have enough time to just let the guy run across his face, he can still get open. Now, chances are, if they wait for that, they're going to get shedded and sacked anyways, or, you might be able to click onto the guy in the deep middle to make the pick, but it's still possible. So you always kind of have to be on the lookout for that, which is why if I'm playing someone that's just continuously trying to bomb me, one thing I might do is just basically not even have the deep middle anymore and put this guy in a curl flat and this guy in a curl flat. And then now what I'm doing is I'm saying to myself, okay, I'm going to rush 4 this time, so hopefully they don't even have time for that. But also, if I see them trying to do a bomb like that, I just user it myself. So sometimes, if I know that they have a bomb to where they're just trying to force over and over again that's getting difficult, I'll just user it. And I'll take my user responsibility for that, and I'll rush an extra player so that I feel like they probably just won't even have time to begin with. Because now, I can just run back there, and I don't even have to worry about them potentially getting out of the pocket or anything like that. Because even if they do, I'm back there myself, and I know that they can't get it off because I'm defending it. Now, the other thing is, by leaving that slot corner blitzing, now, there's more pressure. Because on this year's game, what you have to understand is when you rush 3, the pressure can be hit or miss. There'll be times where you'll rush 3 and you'll get really good pressure. You're just, like, wow. Then there'll be times where you rush 3 where they could stand back there and order a pizza and, you get no pressure. However, if you take the 3 defenders, you're rushing, add an extra one and make it 4, your life is going to be a lot easier because that's never going to happen. You might not get an insta-shed or a dominant win, but they're not going to just be able to sit back there and just do whatever they want either. Now, I know I said this defense is good against the run too, and it is. The one thing I want to say is you cannot run this against people just trying to run the ball every play, especially if they're coming out in under center, like heavy run formations. Do not run this. But if somebody's in shotgun, or just really any 3 receiver formation, you pretty much know at that point this is a safe defense because if they are going to run the ball, we already know it's, they're going to run the common stuff. They're going to run base or inside zone. And this is kind of the same like way to stop the run. I've showed you guys a lot this year. It's just simply using the guy to shoot the gap. So if you're worried about the run, all you do is you set your adjustments up, whatever you want to do. It doesn't really matter. I mean, here I just made one simple adjustment. But you just basically take the linebacker and you get opposite the running back. You kind of just stand in this sweet spot, which just takes a little bit of practice to get used to. And then at the snap, you just run right through. You can click off, dive tackle, whatever you want to do. But the whole thing is when you stand in that spot, and like I said, you can do this from several formations, the O-line just does not even recognize you. So basically you see that huge gap open up, and as long as the receiver in the slot doesn't get a hold of you too well, you can just run through there, like I said, dive tackle, click off, whatever you want to do. Personally, I'd recommend getting good at dive tackle, because with the dive tackle, it just is the best way to tackle this year. And also, when you dive tackle, you would actually like dive through blockers. So if this was a run with a puller and you had someone pulling across trying to block you, you could just dive through his block and still make the tackle. So that's personally how I do it. And it's very, very effective. And it honestly doesn't take much time to master. But the whole thing about it is you do need to be using someone who's fast, because if, you don't have a fast user, he can't hit that hole, you might be out of there. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to smash that like button. And until next time, it's Duke, and I'm out of here.